You will be able to see my screen now. So welcome to Microsoft List session. Today, I think we have a demo filled session for you where we'll be sharing more about what this Microsoft List is all about, how it can make the life of teams and yourself easy when it comes to tracking information um, itself. So myself, I'm Saurabh. I'm a program manager on SharePoint Experiences team. We have a strong SharePoint Experiences team in IDC. And over to Shreyansh for quick intro.
Hey, everyone. My name is Shreyansh Agrawal. I'm an engineer in the Microsoft List team. My primary work area is around list views and its customization.
Great. So let's get started. So basically, what is Microsoft List, right? So it has everyone must be knowing about SharePoint List. So this is sort of a reincarnated version of SharePoint List, but definitely with more power and more enhancements. So fundamentally, it is basically a table which allows you to store information and data very easily in a very simple interface and very simple experience. So it gives you very simple experience and built-in column data types, right? Starting from sort of number, dates, sort of choice columns. So there's an array of built-in columns that allows you to store data. So together with that simplicity, it also marries that with rich viewing capabilities. So once you have stored that data in the list, you can enhance the views based on your personal need or your team's need. And there will be more information flowing through in this session where we are making it even more richer. Apart from simplicity in storage, in views, you can also customize the list and take the power forward in terms of really playing with some of the elements that you see both on the visualization side, how you sort of make the life easy for users when it comes to entering the data in the list, and also connecting it with other products that Microsoft has when it comes to Power BI and others. We will not touch upon those advanced topics in this forum yet, but there is definitely more information out there. So this session is really focused on just getting started with what Microsoft List is all about and giving you a window into all these different sort of enhancements and sort of the focus areas that you will see more energy flowing into over time. So, we know about SharePoint List. It has been around for many years now. So the good thing is if you already have domain expertise about SharePoint List and you have existing lists that are being used in SharePoint sites, so nothing has changed. Everything just works business as usual. However, those lists will actually go beyond the existing endpoints. They will be easily discoverable to users, and it will be much more easier to add data and visualize data both on existing list and the new list that one ends up creating. So this is just a rebranded, but really a very important milestone in the SharePoint journey, list journey. So so I think that is really good to track what's happening in this space. So this is just a home experience. It's a really beautiful experience that we feel will appeal to a lot of users in terms of giving one quick access to all the lists that a person is sort of interested in. So it gives you aggregated view of both your personal list, which a user will now be able to create, and the team list that's spread over in a certain organization. So it becomes a one-stop shop to access all your list, and it will be easily accessible through your suite nav that you see on the top left in any M365 portal, app portal, right? So we'll discuss more as we do the demo. So it's not meant to be a slideware session. We will jump into demo, but before that. I just want to call out there is an event that is coming, which is Microsoft Ignite. It's a really important event for for a lot of enterprise products from Microsoft, and you will see a good number of announcements and more details into some of the features beyond what we covered today here. So definitely plug into some of the sessions that would be relevant to you. And just a quick summary of different list sessions that would be here. I encourage folks to take a screenshot and sort of make these links easier to access so that they can track all these sessions beyond today. I'll just pause for 5 seconds so that people can bookmark it or sort of save it. So yeah, let's start with the demo. So this is the list home experience that we have seen in the slideware. So you can see that it brings together your favorites. You now have an ability to sort of do favorites to your list, so it shows up, and you can also remove favorites here very easily. You can sort of filter your home screen by my list and recent list. And it is very engaging and simple and yet effective experience that we believe would really resonate well. Beyond the initial accessing the list easier, you can also create the list in a very easy way. So we have offered templates for common scenarios. So you can do issue tracking, asset manager, you can all these scenarios you can create, and we will go into detail into one of these scenarios to see how this makes it life easier for you. But you can start with a blank list, you can start with an Excel, or you can even start with an existing list. So it brings over all the schema of the list that you start from and get it started. So let's start with Asset Manager template to begin with. So once I click on Asset Manager, you'll see a sort of a snippet of what the schema of this particular list is, right? And it's a great way to sort of understand, and you can even browse through other schemas. So and see what is relevant when you get started with a new list. So let me pick Asset Manager, and I'd say use the template. Now I can simply change the name. You can change the color, how it appears in the home screen, and you can change the icon. So currently we have a predefined list of icons. And you can also save it. So currently it says my list, so it's being saved in my personal space, and you can share it with other folks after saving. So you can pretty much experiment in your own space till you think the list is ready for prime time, and then share it with your team members rather than sort of giving a half-baked list to people. So so that's one, but you can also save it in any SharePoint site using this dropdown. So let me start. So I get this schema. Let's add data to it quickly, right? So this is one trick I really liked. So I'll just move some columns just so that it makes my life easier. And then I will switch over to Excel that has the same schema. So you see title, status, manufacturer, model. So all these title is sort of tag, status, manufacturer, model. So this is kind of the same schema. And it's basically the purpose here is for a team, if they have a set of devices that they would like to share and sort of manage easily and see who is assigned which device and when the other person needs to sort of give it back. So it can be easily managed. So that is the scenario here. So I'll go to the quick edit mode. I'll first copy all this content from Excel. I'll click on the asset tag. I'll just do a Control V. Right now, what's happening is it's going one by one, and we need to wait till all the processing item-wise stops. So now, as you see, the last row is processed, and we do see some sort of gaps here, right? So let's say in the status column, the in transit is not sort of highlighted, right? So let me fix that. So I can go to the column, click edit, and I can see the original template doesn't have this particular choice. So I can quickly add that in Transit, and I can do save. Now you can see that in Transit is now appearing nicely as it should. Again, I'll do the same with some of the manufacturers which are not originally part of the schema. Great. So now let me exit out of the quick edit mode and see that all the list is easily carried forward from Excel to here. So let me, so I think one important thing, difference here in this list is if you look at this particular column, let me actually place it first. So you will see some different UX elements that you will start seeing. There will be a contextual menu that will be coming out of the box. So you will have quick actions that you can take for this particular item. You can actually share this particular item with other folks. You can sort of open it, edit it, and sort of do more things with it easily, right? If I click on this particular item, this particular field, the entire item is now available for me to edit, right? So I don't need to scroll left and right to access this particular, edit this particular field. So let me add a owner. And let me add an image. Okay. So now, so one interesting thing which I didn't mention here is that if you look, there is a new icon here, which is the comment icon, right? So what this allows me is to say that, hey, this particular item currently, let's say, is assigned to Mikhail, and it is getting due to in 1st of October, right? So let me say if I want to find more information about, is this item going to be available? So I send this comment. So let me switch over to a different window. Just to see Mikhail's view, right? So so in this case, what I would do is this is currently in my my list space, right? So this currently will not have the other person will not have access to my list. So what I'll do is before she can respond to it, I will need to give her permission. So there is sharing. So there's a notify option available. So imagine this, when I grant access, it would send an email link to Mikhail that this link has been shared to her. And once Mikhail sees in her view, she will click that link from her Outlook and she will get access to this particular list, right? So now once she enters this list, so I currently on this demo tenant, the inboxes are not set up. So I can't really show you the flow. So pardon me for that gap, but assume that Mikhail has clicked on this link and she has access to this particular list. Then you can see that this comment is really highlighted so that it takes a notice that some action is going on in this particular item. She can click on this particular item. And then basically she can respond to it. Sure, I will return it tomorrow. So this allows you to really collaborate very well with your teammates. You can potentially have a discussion around a certain item without leaving the web experience itself. And everything sort of, really increases the collaboration power just in the web experience. Going forward, I'll not go too deep in the other areas, but I think you can basically enhance the, you can add calculated columns, which has been for around, but it's a really nice way that to see that, how many days a certain device is due, right? So in this particular case, what I have done is I have added a calculated column, which sort of says that from the due date till today, how many days is left. And if the days left is less than 90, then it's a short term, otherwise a long term. So there are all these calculating functions that you can use to add more richness to your data. And let's say if I want to just group this list by a term. So I can really, the admin of the asset team can really see, which devices are really sort of, due for a shorter term and a longer term, and they can adjust these terms for their own benefit, right? So now let me switch gears. Let me take a track of time. Okay, doing good. So imagine, let's come to Teams. Now, this is all the web experience that you can play with List, but a lot of usage currently is on Teams, where the collaboration also happens, right? So there is, imagine that there is a team, and you want to also use Teams for already have a team where a lot of discussions are happening. You can easily create a new asset sharing discussions channel within your Teams. You can click on plus. And now you will see List app here. So you can embed this List app as a tab in your channel. So let's do that. Let's select List and save. So you see this List tab, and here you can start again with a new list. You can again start from a blank list, from an Excel, or from an existing list. So let me select an existing list, and I have already a list that I have created here. So you will see a list here with similar data here. And in List, the collaboration paradigm is a little different, right? And currently there are definitely two words. But if you are completely in the Teams world, what you can do is you can click on this particular item and you will see a conversation tab, right? So once you click on this conversation, it just opens up a new window. And you can basically have a discussion here. Hey, is this device good for testing? ABC app, right? And and what happens is this discussion is not only visible in this particular right pane, it is also there present, which all the team members can see. So not only this one person will see it, but other folks can also contribute to it. So let me add a comment from the other person here. Okay. And you will see the same response here. Cool. So we have covered the list home. We have covered sort of easy creation of list. We have covered that. Let me go to how this experience really shines on mobile, right? So let me go to share my mobile screen. Okay, cool. So I think right now what you see is a list app that we are building, starting with iOS and following up with Android later next year, is a list view experience which is designed and built ground up for mobile consumption, right? So all the UX, all the elements that you're saying is really brings the native efficiency and the native experience to the table when it comes to list. So you find the scrolling, the performance very smooth. It works both in the let me check. It works both in your portrait mode and your landscape mode. Let's open the same list here. So you look how instant that experience is, because we have already sort of, this list is already cached. So you really don't need to wait for any server calls, which happens with web experiences. It's really fast. And as you scroll, you'll see that the context of this particular item is very smartly kept, because we are not hiding the first column. So you can actually use this first column to your advantage and make sure that all the context as you scroll from left to right, no matter how many columns you have, you still have the context in place. And the same context is there in portrait. The other benefit in mobile is that it is really an edit-ready canvas, right? So you can basically click on any column and easily change the selections, right? So you can save it. All these individual built-in columns have their own dedicated edit native controls. So we have, let's say, the date control. So you really don't have any sort of web experience switching happening here. So everything is really native, really fast. And what really it brings to the table is you can definitely assign more folks. It auto-populated because I've been using, so the suggestions are very smart. And you have the entire sort of experience here. The other benefit it sort of gives is if you are really updating the picture here, so you can really store, capture a photo and update. This is really in the build, so I'm not showing you the exact update process, but it's fairly easy to imagine that you can either take a photo or attach a photo from your gallery and update these lists. The other thing is all these extended options of sorting. You can really sort by supported column types. You can group and you can filter. So we are really bringing the best of list on mobile in a very fluid, efficient experience here. So can't wait for this to sort of land in users' hand and sort of get good feedback around how this really plays. But I think moving forward, I think Shreyansh will sort of touch upon some of the advanced formatting options and view options with us.
Thank you, Saurabh. So Saurabh showed how the Microsoft list can be used not just on the web, but also in Microsoft Teams and the new mobile app. So let me walk you through how you can use list created using list template and personalize them for your needs. So for this sample, I'm going to create a new list. I will choose event itinerary. This gives me a list with a session name, session code, session type, few more metadata, and it also has a start and the end date, and some pre-applied formatting as well. So let me just create one for today. Say I will choose a default color. The icon looks perfect to me, so I'll just go and create the list. So when the list is created using a template, you can see that it not just creates one list and one view, but actually provides you multiple views. In this case, in this particular template, you can see there are four views that were automatically created for us that we can use for different scenarios. So let me quickly jump to the same list that I have pre-populated with some data, and let me walk you through that. So in this case, I have switched to the all items view. This is a list layout, and you can see that we have alternate rows color shaded here. And we have the session type as choice pill formatting, and speaker also has a people choice based formatting. Let me just go ahead and customize the view formatting in this case. For that, I will go to the view switcher, go to the format current view option. And I can see that this alternate row formatting has been enabled using one of the out-of-the-box designer templates for list formatting. So let me switch to the conditional formatting template. And let me highlight the site visitor in this case, so that like everyone who is actually speaking at this conference can identify that when and where their sessions are. So in this case, I have used the @me token that is available in the custom formatters. And I'm going to give a little bit of nudge, not a big of too much highlight here. So I'm going to remove the background color. I'll add a left border, make it a bit thicker. I think I prefer the red color, so I'll add that here. So now you can see that in this case, Grady being the visitor of this site, you can see that the items that had Grady as the speaker has been highlighted. So if the same list is visitor by Nestor, for example, he will actually see the left highlighter in this row. This looks fine with me. I think I'm done with the customization that I wanted to do for the list view. Let me switch to another view. Let me create a calendar view for this. So for that, I can actually go to the view switcher and to the create new view option. This actually gives me a small dialog. I'll just create. Notice that how automatically it populated a couple of data items for me. I will choose this, map the start date to the start date and time field that I have already created, and the end date with the end date and time. It also has some more options. It basically maps the title with one of the fields. In this case, it mapped it with the session name. It is making it public. I want to keep it public, so I'm keeping the default options in this case. I'll create the view. So the view is created for me, and it automatically lands me to the current month. You can notice that one of the items is visible here, and then there is a pane on the right side, which actually shows you all the items for the current day. I can choose different days, and the agenda pane, the right side pane, will actually show me all of the items for all those dates. I can actually also click on that item, and that will select the item. I can double click on that item and it will open the edit form that we are already familiar with. I can also navigate through different months or quickly jump to a different month. And if there are many items in a day, you will see some hints that tells you that you probably can click on this to see all the items on the right side. This pretty much works as you would expect. You can also select the items on the using the agenda pane, and you can see that the same is reflected here as well. I like the view, but maybe I want to configure it and probably highlight the speaker name instead. So I will go to the same edit current view option. It brings up the modern, brings up the same dialog. I will actually switch these title from session name to the speaker. And the same gets reflected automatically. And the view is saved for us as well. I think I'm done with the calendar view. Let me go to and create a gallery view now. So I switched to another list view that was automatically created for me. And this has an additional image column. Using the view switcher, I can actually go to an out-of-the-box gallery layout. That is, so this gallery layout automatically reads the view schema and proposes a card that we believe would mean the metadata that would mean the most to you. And in this case, we picked up the image column and we put it on the top, and we picked up 4 or 5 more fields which we thought would be relevant. If this logic doesn't work for you, you can always go to the format current view option and choose the card designer and add the metadata that is important for you. For in this case, I may want to have the capacity. And when I clicked on it, you can see that the card automatically reflected the new metadata. I can reorder it and put it at a place where I would want it to be. In this case, session code is not important, so probably I'll remove that. We also have the show preview option for images and the people field. I want the preview for speakers, so I will enable that here in this case. This works for me, so I'll save the gallery view. One constant feedback that we got from everyone is that user is not able to land on this view by default. So what you can do is you can go to the save view as option and save the view, and every user who will land on this view will see the gallery layout. Now, these basic customizations may work for a lot of folks, but you may want to have some more advanced functionalities and more advanced customization. Since this card is powered by the custom formatters, you can go to the advanced mode and write your own JSON to customize it. Before I dive into the formatter, let me quickly tell you the new functionality that we have introduced. You can notice that we have integrated Monaco editor in the formatter pane so that you can get the IntelliSense here itself and you don't have to switch between VS Code and the formatter pane. We have also segregated the view formatting and the column formatting. And within the view formatting, we have created a few pivots so that you can concentrate on the visualization that you're customizing. So this card looks pretty okay, but I actually wanted to, if you notice in the list view, we had a session type and we had the pill formatting for this, but it seems to be missing here. So let me go ahead and try to customize that. So I can do a Control F. I will go to session type. So this is the piece of JSON that is actually powering this. Instead of that, I can just tell the view formatting rather than me mentioning the complete formatter. Why don't we just borrow the column formatting in this case? So once I do that, the formatting is borrowed from the from the column formatting, and whenever I update this column, this will also get auto updated. So let me go to column and the session type. Notice how it automatically reflected in this case. Now this looks pretty fine to me. Let me also add a context menu so that I can give some advanced flows and other actions that the user can use. I have pasted a JSON which has actually added this small 3-button context menu here. When the user clicks on this, a small context menu shows up where we have binded a few actions using which user can either share, edit, view, delete, or probably trigger a flow that goes with their business logic. This looks fine to me. I'm going to save this. So I think I'm done with customizing the views. Let me go ahead and customize the item forms now. So I think Saurabh actually showed you the commenting pane, so I'm going to minimize that for now. I'm going to concentrate on the view forms and its customization options. Recently, we have rolled out a feature where you can customize which columns show up on the item forms. In this case, I want to hide the notes column when the capacity is less than 20. So I can click on that and click on edit conditional formula. I can add an expression here which, when true, actually says that I want to see the column. And in the case when it is false, the column will be hidden. So I've written an expression which says, if the capacity is less than 20, hide the column. I'm going to save that.
Can you all mute, please?
So in this case, the capacity is 100, and you can see that the nodes field is visible. I'm going to change the capacity to 15, and notice how the nodes field actually disappeared. This can actually help you configure very low code customized forms for your scenarios. Now let me switch to configure layout and talk about the advanced form customization that we are enabling. Using the advanced customization, you can have JSON formatters for header and footer. I'm going to paste a few JSON here to ease the conversation. In this case, I've pasted a JSON formatter for header, which actually converts the entire header into a banner. I have a similar JSON for the footer as well. And notice how it added a link. This can actually imagine scenarios where I actually share this form with various folks in my team to gather data. And you can actually use these to lead them to links, which can help them provide more information and the correct information in the form. The body customization JSON is pretty simple compared to header and footer. In this, you can actually mention the display name. You can segregate the entire form into different sections and can mention the fields that you want in those sections. In this case, for example, I added session info as one of the headers and one of the sections, and I've added 4 fields into that. Notice how different sections has been created in this form based on the JSON that I've added on the right side. Also notice how the forms have been enriched with the column formatting displayed right there. With this, I think I'm satisfied with the form customization that I wanted to do for this list. And let me jump to the new feature that will be rolling out, which is about creating rules on these lists. There are 4 types of rules that you can create on a list. You can have rules to get notifications for when a column changes, a column value changes, a new item is created, or an item is deleted. In this case, I want to be notified when the capacity column is greater than 50. It automatically suggests me email people field from this list itself, or I can always choose to notify myself. I'll go ahead and create this rule, and notice how it actually takes me to manage rules, and where I can see all the rules that I have created for this list. I can choose to keep the list the rule on, or I can disable it. That's all from my side. Saurabh, back to you.
Sure. Let me share my screen back. Okay, so I think just a quick recap of what we have shared. We went through the list home experience just to give you a flavor of what the new experience brings. There has been some questions around why my theme is not looking similar to what we have shown. So I believe the current theme of your list would be coming from your SharePoint site theme and not particularly the list home site theme. And it would be sort of, there would be differences because of that. As we release the themes, once this app is sort of released and makes it to your Suite Nav option, the theming will become more consistent. And for the roadmap questions, I think for beyond what we have shared, I think please track the Ignite sessions and the news that follows it. There would be specific clarity on which feature broadly in list that would be coming, but we can answer some of the features that particularly we are more aware with, but please feel free to post more questions. We covered the sharing and collaborations on the web endpoint side of things. We also shared how we can bring the power of list with the sort of usage of Teams and sort of Teams becoming a one hub for all your usage scenarios. So really extending the list power and marrying it with Teams experiences, making the collaboration much more productive at the productive level. And then really starting on a journey on mobile space. And this is the first step towards a great list experience on mobile. And I think, frankly speaking, this is just the starting. I think we really wanted to make a powerful and a great step forward in the mobile domain. But I believe there will be a great great things are yet to come in this domain. So feel free to sort of ping us if you have specific requirements or specific scenarios that you would like to see specifically on mobile. I think like my team is very close to this work, and we really want to really make it shine for your organization and for your scenarios. So feel free to sort of reach back to us on this one. I think Shreyansh covered a lot of detail into out-of-box views that's available, starting with calendar view, with gallery view, and some of the rich customizations that can be done on top of these out-of-box views. And Forms is really about making sure that the input, when we are adding data to this list, it also brings some level of customization and experience element to it. So the same experience that Shreyansh showed for all these views, customizations, and forms, they will be directly available in Teams, right? So you don't need to do any specific customization for web and Teams front. So everything just works out of the box on web and Teams directly, right? So that's actually a great savings for when you are customizing the experiences. I think we have 15 minutes left.
Yeah, Saurabh, yeah. You can go ahead with questions.
Yeah.
And so, like, we have one question is like when it will be available, rolled out, and Microsoft plan towards that.
So again, I think for the specific features we can answer here, like which we have showed, but for the general roadmap, I would suggest do track the Ignite sessions and the blog posts that follow. And I think and that's happening next week, right? So so I think I just know that the calendar view that one question was on the calendar view that would be shipping pretty soon post Ignite. With the month layout to begin with the month's layout, but in general for all the other features that you saw here, it would be good to track the Ignite sessions.
Thanks, Saurabh. Other common question is about the list threshold limit. Like even the same MS list also will follow the same thing as SharePoint list limits.
Yeah, I think I just want to touch a general. There is no this product. There is only one list.
Please, yeah, please go on mute.
That cannot be a reason. I'm in the same room only. See, I'm not trying to hall or anything.
Hi, Ramesh, when you go on mute, I'm not able to mute you.
So all the lights.
Sorry,
okay.
Saurabh.
No problems. So there are no two different limits for SharePoint list and Microsoft list. They two are same product, right? So Microsoft list is actually built on the SharePoint list, right? It is basically making SharePoint list as a first-class citizen in M365 domain, right? So there are no two list products. There is only one list product. Earlier, we were calling it SharePoint list, and it used to live within the SharePoint site namespace. But now it has been graduated as a first-class citizen at M365 level. So it can be used it can be still used within the SharePoint site namespace as it used to, and it can be used beyond, right? So so that's the change. It can be really used within your teams, teams where you used to engage. It can be used mostly to collaborate with few set of folks, even if there is no SharePoint site. So it really expands the value prop beyond the sites.
Thanks, Saurabh. If there's no questions, like,
I
if
think
there is
feel
no,
free to unmute and talk. I think it's fine if folks wants to speak out loud, given that we have some time.
if there is no question asked, we can go with the chat questions. Sorry.
Okay, let me check. Yeah, I think questions are being answered on chat. So I think Card Designer in Calendar would be rolled out. I think all these features that we have showed here, which we have went into detail, are really sort of, the team is really working hard to get out of the door as soon as possible. And I think all these features would be shipped post Ignite timeframe. So you can say that definitely by end of this year, or within few sort of months, it should be ready to roll out, already rolled out or ready to be rolled out. So.
I think Arshad has his hand raised.
Go ahead. Anyone who wants to speak out?
Saurabh, this Manjunath here. Actually, thanks for clarifying on the Teams part of Microsoft List. So I just wanted to understand, like, I also tried Microsoft List part, exploring few things, but still I'm not able to see the interface, like how, whatever you demoed in this second, same thing I'm not able to replicate, because there are few things like Card Designer, Tile Designer, and device photo, that is metadata. Few of things are not reflecting in Microsoft List. So I'm just awaiting if something needs to be rolled out on the tenant basis. I'm not sure exactly. So a bit confusion on this part.
So are you able to, when you click on the tab and you want to embed the list in one of the channel tabs, do you see the list option?
Yeah, I can see the list option. So I think in Teams and other place it's working fine. But when I create a Microsoft List and store the data into SharePoint site, it's working fine. Even asset gallery and grid view, those things are working fine. Only thing is I'm not able to format certain fields. Like I can't give a preview for certain fields. When I click on format current view, I can see only the current view form. Where I can't format the designer. Once if I get that option, then I can go for Tile Designer and look for the data to select it for the certain cards, because there are only, I can see only the default metadata. I can choose it for card design, but if I want to add other fields, it is not allowing. Reason is I cannot see other option. Whatever you have demoed in the session, where I can see format view and current. Let me share one thing.
No, makes sense.
I think that is
it.
expected, and the reason for that is that a lot of features that we demoed today are yet not available on every tenant. It is still going to the last polish phase and shall be available in your tenant in the upcoming updates.
Yeah, like format view and format column and comment feature, those things are not available. When I go for format current, there are two options, format view and format column. When I try to format columns, their Tile Designer is not visible.
Yeah. Tile Designer will be available under format current view, and that will be available in the upcoming weeks. It is still not rolled out.
Okay. I think I was missing that point.
Yeah, same goes for your question about image metadata. That is also a feature that is also something that will be rolled out in the upcoming updates.
Okay. Any idea like when exactly it's rolled out?
There are some roadmap links. I will try to find them and share them in the chat.
Sure. Thanks, Shreyas, and thanks, Saurabh.
Thank you.
Thanks for your support on this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Arshad, you have hands raised. Please go ahead.
Mute yourself and yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Arshad, you may be on mute.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Saurabh?
can hear you. We can hear you. Yeah, please go.
Okay, so I have a list, like I have a Power App developed where I'm using SharePoint as an application. Okay, and the data is more than 10 lakh over there. How do I, should I use the SharePoint list or should I use something else? Like like SQL or some other database for it? Because
So,
I don't want to spend more on buying Power Apps Pro license. So I was thinking to have the SharePoint list as my database. How would you recommend on that?
What
Shreyansh,
is
you
the
have some
bottle?
guidance to share?
What is the bottleneck that you are facing if you plan to, like, have you tried a
Yeah,
small
so,
POC using SharePoint? What is the
yeah.
bottleneck that you are facing?
So I do not get to filter the data, or I don't get to see the data of everything.
Okay,
That's,
so while filtering, is the column that you are filtering is already indexed in SharePoint?
yes.
Okay, what error do you get? Is
So
that
it,
error sent to you from Power Apps or sorry, go ahead.
so currently it's under development stage.
Mhm.
We have not gone to that level to have that much of data as of now. But as per the limitations, what we saw over here, the threshold limit is 2,000 and 5,000. So that's what I saw it on the public site also. So I'm not sure that will I be able to get the data or not.
I think that information is incomplete, Arshad. We actually support all the functionalities till 5,000 items, and we support up till 30 million items theoretically. The
So
only thing is, as your number of items increase, the kind of restrictions and the kind of tweaking that you will have to do for your list would actually change. I have shared a couple of articles. Would you mind going through that? And in case you are running into issues or errors, either from Power Apps or SharePoint, do you mind sharing us those errors, and probably from there onward, someone in the support team can help you out?
definitely. So definitely, I will give you all the details. Okay.
Sure.
I think to answer this question, like in Power Apps, if any user working on SharePoint, I think there is a delegation limit. When we try to retrieve the data for get items, like get functionality, the delegation warning throws, which doesn't mean that is an issue there, where we can use filter all or filter and function to meet as per the requirement. But as Saurabh suggested or Shreyas, I think if you apply threshold limit and if you call that view, I think it would work. There will be no impact on the Power App side.
Shreyas, I can ping you separately and we can coordinate on that.
Sure. Thank you, Arshad.
Any comments for the mobile side of scenarios you guys have when you are building solutions?
Any other questions?
Shreyas, can you ping me on PC because I'm not able to ping you?
Sure, I'll do that.
Maitri, we can wrap it up if we can make a last attempt if anyone has anything. Otherwise, I think great. I think thanks everyone for tuning in. I think again appeal, go to this link particularly has a lot of information on what is sort of trending when it comes to Microsoft List, what is next set of features beyond what we have discussed. So please go to this link and stay tuned.
Thanks, Saurabh. Thanks, Ranesh, for the wonderful session. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Maitri. Thanks for organizing this. Pleasure to be here.